Good evening, everyone. It's serotonin. Well, I'm flip-flopping this week. Um, I don't know what I'm gonna do about my old social media platform dilemma. I've actually stayed on. Today's Wednesday night, and I've actually stayed on. I haven't. I've said I was gonna close down my avatar or my whatever, my membership or my profile, because I didn't want the quantum entanglement, but I stayed on because I was really hoping to resolve the situation. Nobody wants to resolve it with me. Um, and I think it's because I'm sort of refusing to adhere to one of the rules, which is to not use an avatar name. I'm supposed to use my own name. And I'm trying to figure out what it is that is triggering in me. And I think I'm sort of caught between this feeling of wanting to rebel and not want it at the same time, not wanting to be compliant because I spent a lot of my life being extremely compliant. And the other thing is, though, that because I've been sort of dealing with a lot of my own shadow work over the years, I've also spent a lot of my life more recently being outwardly rebellious. So I'm caught between trying to understand my own behavior and what it is that's bothering me. Plus, there's drama going on um, in other aspects as well. Um, but um, I decided, maybe I need to sit in the discomfort of all of this because I've felt for a long time that I need to do a lot more soul searching, and I haven't really found anything very effective to help me do that. And yet, in the last 2 weeks, I've contemplated myself and my actions and who I am and what I represent and all that stuff over and over and over again to the point that I'm like, oh my gosh, this could be good for me. So I don't know what to do. So I'm flip flopping. So there you go. I did want to sort of check in with you guys about I posted a podcast the other day and then I ended up removing it. Sorry, Frogmonger, because you were right in the middle of that podcast when that happened. But it just felt like complainy and navel gazing. I already explained that to you. But to anyone else who was interested, yeah, it just didn't feel right. I didn't want to be kind of hanging my dirty laundry. So I decided to take it down. Um, but I did want to talk about a couple of quick things. So just the quick things. The first, the big thing is that I wanted to share a little bit more with. I've talked in other podcasts about ACA, which is Adult Children of Alcoholics, and I'm seeing a lot of pain around me lately, uh, both in my personal life, but also just in observing people out there. So if anybody is on my channel and they're really feeling like very triggered and things are very difficult, this could be a really great resource for you. And I'm going to do a whole podcast on it. It's going to be basically an introduction. I'm going to talk a little bit about the basic tenets of adult children of alcoholics, but basically it is very, very, very loosely based on a 12-step program, but has nothing to do with the 12-step program because you're never supposed to be sponsored by someone you don't have. It's a completely different belief system. Now, I know that we're not supposed to give over our higher power to someone else. This is a big no-no, energetically and spiritually, soulfully. We shouldn't be doing that. That is one of the requests that they have for this. I would always say that you give your power to your higher self, and see if you can't sort of keep your lower aspects out of that for a wee bit anyway. But the most important thing that I think this particular like philosophy, we'll call it, the thing that's the most relevant and important, in my opinion, is that you are taking yourself as you are today. You're not trying to correct yourself or be better, whatever. What you're trying to do is reparent yourself. You're not required or requested or even encouraged to have anger at your parents or confront them. The idea is that you accept and begin to love the situation that you're in, the parents that you have, and the person that you are today. But that you can create a balance in the deficiencies, the things that you didn't get because your parents weren't able to give them at the time because they were dealing with something that was greater than them. They'd given themselves over to something that was beneath them that took over them. So it's a very interesting philosophy of thought. And I did want to put it out there because it is a tool for people to use. It's not necessarily my preferred tool of choice, but it is a very good one. And if it fits for you, it could work for you. And that's something that I want to share. So that's the first thing. The second thing I really wanted to share with you guys, I know it sounds kind of a little silly, but silliness and trite things and creative things I think are really important right now. So judge them as you will. I'm not too worried about that. What I wanted to do is I wanted to show you some of the channels that I have been going to in terms of creative inspiration and just something to help get my mind off of things sometimes. I don't watch television, I don't watch movies, but I will give over 10 minutes to a little video on YouTube that is worthy of my time. So first of all, what is this? No bake peach something? Peach cheesecake? I don't know, but that looks kind of awesome. I'm sure if I made it, it wouldn't quite look the same, but anyway, I might actually put the link to that in the description box because that's kind of crazy awesome. But what I wanted to show you guys is some of my subscriptions. And the big one, the big one that I wanted to share with you is this one called Liziqi. So this woman is amazing. Wow, her subscribers just jumped, like doubled. That's crazy. So she's a young woman who lives with her grandmother in China, and they live on a farming type property in the mountains, and she makes everything, not everything, but many things from scratch in a traditional way, and it is absolutely the most stunningly beautiful show. It's not really a show, I don't know what it is, mini doc, and it's all about her patterns, the patterns of planting and harvesting food, and what she does with the food or the product. Sometimes it's wool, sometimes it's silk. She's very interesting. Um, and just, it's very beautifully done. It's very quiet. There's almost no talking whatsoever. The music, when there is some, is very quiet. It's beautiful. So if you need a treat for your senses, this is incredible. Another one I wanted to share with you, is, so John Levi, he's just a lovely person, with some really great videos, mostly about the US and cities and buildings in the US. Captain Kirk, I've been really enjoying the work coming off this channel. There are some really beautiful ones, and the Captain Kirk, I don't know who Captain Kirk is, so I'm going to keep it very neutral, but this person basically downloads beautiful, old, mysterious seeming pictures, ones that get us really questioning the historical narrative, and it's put to music, and it's just calming and beautiful, and sometimes sad and sometimes surprising, and just really beautiful stuff. And that's kind of it. I'm gonna go back to the main page. Oh, I've lost my cheesecake. But the other thing I've been doing a lot is, let me see if I can find. So there's these acrylic pours. Oops, that's not how you spell acrylic. And there's all kinds. Smart Art Materials, she does some really beautiful ones. And this is basically, I'm not really going to be able to show it to you. I'm worried about getting worried. I'm so worried. But no, I'm not sure about what's it called, copyrights and stuff. But anyway, acrylic pouring is just, it's a method of mixing paint together on canvas, and it seems pretty easy to do, but it's really beautiful and really effective. And if there's something that you're not sure what to do, if you're not sure what to do with your time um, right now, I would highly recommend that you try doing these if you need some inspiration. The other thing that I wanted to show you, it's so amazing, painting with tea. This is the only one I've watched so far, Lethal Chris. This was seriously inspirational, like mind-blowingly inspirational. And if you've ever worked with watercolors, oh my goodness. So yeah. And there's also ones on coffee, painting with coffee. So anyway, that's all I have today. Just a little something. My cat's freaking out again. So I'm gonna go and see what's going on with him. But anyway, thanks for listening, everyone. I'll keep you updated on how things go. And I will be back probably in about a week to work on, I need some time to work on that podcast because I want it to be a really good one. I don't want it to be one of these on the fly crazy serotonin videos that I just do because I'm inspired in the moment. This one I want to prepare for. So have a fantastic week, and I will catch you on the flip flop. Okay, lots of love, everyone.